Hey there, neighbor. I have a question for you. Have you had your dose of pep today? No? Don't worry. I got you. Let's go. What's good, my people, my family, my friends, Pep Squad? How y'all doing out there? Welcome to episode 14 of the Pep Talk podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay, and the mission of this podcast is to cheer you on and coach you up. It's a mission that I'm passionate about. And if you know me in real life, then you'll know that that is a huge piece of who I am and how I move through the world. I had been thinking about this podcast. Folks don't know this. I had been thinking about this podcast for probably close to a year before actually putting it together. I think I told y'all that prior to this podcast, I had another one, but it was actually two. My very first one, the Y-Cast, y'all, that was my baby. Y'all, it was interview based, and the conversations that I had with people just really affected me and helped me grow. And the conversations were just rich. Do you hear me? Like, there are some smart people in this world, and I was blessed and fortunate to have conversations with many of them that you've never heard of, but you probably should. And while it didn't last long, I loved it, and it stuck with me because it fit a portion of the mission and vision that I had for my life. My second podcast was more along the lines of a microcast. The episodes were short, and they were focused on how I was processing my faith, being new to my 40s at the time. Now, why am I telling you all this? One, because I love reminiscing. But two, see that there have been huge segments and points and seasons of my life where I felt like I didn't have a mission for my life or a vision of what things would look like or what I wanted them to look like. And I'd spend time taking surveys and doing inventories that were supposed to help me understand what I was supposed to be doing. I'd read my Bible, I'd pray, I'd talk to people, trying to get clarity on my vision and my mission. I remember, though, that all of this became clear to me as I continued teaching and discovered that the instructional part of teaching, the curriculum stuff, wasn't my cup of tea. On the grand scale, in my heart, it didn't matter. And I'm sorry if any of my teacher friends are listening, but the curriculum, instructional stuff, that's not my heart. But what mattered to me was being able to have conversations with colleagues and with students where I walked away and I was sure that I'd had an impact, that I'd left something, a seed of something with them that would help them be better after that conversation or have more clarity after that conversation than they did prior to it. Now, that was a mission that I can get behind, and it created a vision in me that's helped me through some really tough seasons. So I took stock of my life and realized that a consistent trend of activity in my life was offering encouragement to people, cheering for them, coaching where needed. And then last summer, I got my certification in life coaching after waiting about 3 years to make use of a program that I'd already purchased. And so I finally decided that I would go ahead and follow through with it. So I figured and I knew that life coaching was a really big part of my vision. And it was also my mission field. And the best thing about it was that I could do it while working in any context, in any field, or I could do it by working for myself. Because no matter where I am, someone will always need cheering or coaching. So when this podcast began coming to life in my heart, I already knew the tagline, the mission statement, and the vision statement before I even knew the name of the podcast. I knew that I wanted this to be a space where I could do what I do best, support people and push them. And essentially, this is my way of loving on the world in the best way that I know how. So now that you know that none of this is contrived, I need you to understand that this podcast is not me putting on a show. My aim is not to be like I'm blowing up a balloon, filling you with helium that only lifts you up. No, my aim is to serve you the Pep Squad, the people who are out there in the trenches, giving the encouragement, supporting people every day. And today I'm going to serve you by telling you a truth that I don't think you've ever thought about. You need a personal vision statement. And I know I've talked about mission a lot in this opening, but my mission is directly correlated to my vision for life. You need the vision in order to process the mission. And when I come back, we're going to have a really detailed, in-depth talk about personal vision statements, why you need to do it. And then I have something cool that I want to tell you about at the end of this episode. Now, y'all know what I'm going to say. We're at the end of the opening monologue, and y'all know. Just get ready, get your chair dancing on. But people, jam to the music. Jam to the music. We'll be right back. All right, we're back, episode 14 of the Pep Talk podcast, and we are talking about building your own personal vision statement. But before we really dive deep into this, I want to take a moment and I want to thank you all for your reviews and for your ratings. I realize I didn't do that in the first segment, so I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the support. Y'all, it really means a lot to podcasters when people are leaving ratings and people are leaving reviews, because that's really a way for our podcast to get pushed so that more and more people are able to see the work that we're doing and the community that we're trying to build. And so here's my heartfelt ask for you. If you are a listener and supporter of this podcast, please continue leaving a rating or leaving a review on the podcast provider of your choice. And as a teacher, I have some colleagues and some scholars who have consistently been supporting the podcast since episode 1. So I want to give a shout out right now to a couple of my scholars, Jared Guzman and Locked In Isaac. Y'all always coming, y'all are telling me about the episodes. So I appreciate you all. And Kat Carter. Kat Carter has been rolling with us deep. She's like an original member of the Pep Squad. She's been rolling deep with us since episode 1. I'm going to start shouting folks out. I like doing that. I really like doing that. Okay, so back to the lecture at hand. Now we're talking about me needing to, a personal mission statement. So first, let's define what a personal mission statement is. Simply put, it's a written declaration of what you want to achieve in life and how you plan to get there. Now, the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. So the first thing I want to say about this is simple. Vision involves sight. It involves seeing. And in times where I have not been able to establish a vision or I couldn't find clarity about my vision, it's been because my vision, my sight, has been impeded by looking at the wrong things. That's right. Looking at the wrong things can seriously impede your ability to see. It's like trying to drive in a driving rainstorm where you can't even see the hood of your car, but you're trying to make it down the street. So sometimes you just have to stop and pull over until the visibility increases, right? And so if you're that person who's struggling right now with just the vision, you can't write a personal vision statement because you can't see where you're going. And so in order for you to have that sight, you've got to quit looking at the obstacles. You've got to look at the opportunities. You've got to look forward in your life with faith and hope and believe that the purpose that has been implanted inside of you, that it has to come out, it has to manifest in some shape, form, or fashion. And when you begin to reshape the way that you think about yourself, you will begin to see. And when you see, then you will have a good vision. Now, so a vision statement is a written declaration, right? So the Bible also says, write the vision, make it plain so that they who read it may run with it. So your vision statement is not something that you leave in a wallet. It's not something that you write, you throw it in the garbage can. You need to read it so that you know which direction you're running with it. So that people who see the vision and vibe with it, they can read it and they can run with it. Okay, so it should reflect your values, your goals and aspirations, and serve as a roadmap for your personal and professional growth. Now, how does a personal vision statement help with personal and professional growth? So it helps by providing clarity and direction. We talk about clarity all the time. Too many people are walking around in confusion where we really need to be walking around with clarity. A personal vision statement helps you make decisions that are aligned with your values and growth, and it guides you toward achieving what is important to you. Again, the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish, and I can tell you with 100% validity that this is the truth. Not knowing where we are going is a sure way to feel like you are just slowly dying every day. We were created with vision, to have vision, and to live on mission. We were created to fulfill something, right? We were created to have more in life than simple leisure, which is why some of the most famous people on earth are miserable, because vision matters. And in and of itself, vision is motivation and inspiration and encouragement. And when you have a firm direction, life takes on a new importance. When you don't, you're like an airplane that can't land, so you're just circling around and around and around in the air. It's frustrating, it's irritating, it's all those things. Now, while personal vision statements aren't really new for me, I'll be honest with you, y'all. I poo-pooed the necessary, how necessary they were for a long time, until I met another coach and speaker who uses them with his clients exclusively. It's something that they work toward first in their sessions. And so I asked him, I said, hey man, can you just help me understand why when you're working with a client, you don't start with getting that background? And he explained it to me simply. And he said that in order for them to know that there was hope on the horizon of any hurt they may be feeling, they had to learn to see beyond. They had to learn to look over the horizon, past the hurt, and see that there's a positive, optimistic vision for their future, because that provides the fuel for them to deal with the hurt that they're wrestling with right now. He went on to explain that hope matters at so many critical junctions of our lives that if people can have a personal vision to reflect on repeatedly, it helps to provide an anchor to hope for the future that helps them overcome their past and their present. And that was something for me that even though I wasn't dealing with hurt in the moment, I realized that I needed to see past where I was. And I needed that vision to be something that would light a fire within me, something that would burn brightly within me and push me out of malaise, push me out of laziness, and just provide that stimulus. We all need a stimulus, right? So we've talked about what and the why, okay? So when we come back, we're going to talk a little about the how. And I'm going to tell you about a gift that I have for you that goes right along with this episode. That's right. I have a gift. Just call me Santa Coach. We're talking about why you need a personal vision statement on episode 14 of the Pep Talk podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay, and we will be right back. Yo, hey, listen. Coach Jay here, and I want to tell you about the release of my latest ebook, Soaring Confidence. Yo, I'm so excited about this book and the feedback that I've gotten on it already. I wrote it specifically for people who, like me, have struggled with the process of building confidence. Maybe you look at yourself and you wish that you had the confidence of other people that you see. Or you look at yourself and you can't seem to get past limiting beliefs, or you feel like you're always in your own way, self-sabotaging the success that you desperately want to see in your life. Y'all, in this book, I'm offering you 4 steps, SOAR, 4 steps that are going to get you into a place where you have the kind of confidence that allows you to soar over the obstacles that so often plague us in our lives. And maybe the book is not for you, but maybe it's for someone that you know who you see it in them, and you just need them to see it in them too. I want to encourage you, in the show notes, click the link, go and purchase your copy of the book. It's at an introductory price of $4.99 because I'm trying to get this book into the hands of as many people as I can, because I don't want people going through life like I did for so long without the confidence that they so rightfully deserve to have. Y'all, I want you to be the best you that you can be, and a big part of that is having confidence in the you that you were created and purposed to be in this life. So go ahead and pick up your copy of Soaring Confidence, 4 Steps to a Greater You, and let me know how you like it. All right, now back to the podcast. All right, so we are talking about the need for having a personal mission statement. And now we're going to talk about how to craft a personal mission statement. This is episode 14 of the Pep Talk Podcast. I'm your host, Coach Jay. I'm so glad to be here with you today. You know, crafting a personal vision statement is a process that involves time and reflection. And they take on various forms. I think the best ones are direct, but they're also fluid. They're direct in that they point in a focused, desired direction, but they're fluid in that we understand that things change, right? We change. Like the vision that I had for myself as a 10-year-old was that I would be a knight. True story. The vision for my life as an 18-year-old was that I would be impossibly rich, have a Mitsubishi Eclipse, and a white tiger for a pet. Don't ask me how that all fits together. I was just 18. Now, as a 42-year-old, my vision looks different, and it's ever evolving. It's ever evolving because we're always looking ahead. And even if you don't hit what your original vision says, you should still be able to go back and take that and tailor it for something new, because there's always something over the horizon. But having a vision statement as a point of focus and an anchor, it helps me to filter whether the things that I do are lining up with the vision that I have for my life. And I think that part is of the utmost importance. Having a personal vision statement written down and available to you to reflect on all the time will help you determine whether this job is something that will get you closer, or this relationship is something that will serve the vision that you have for your life, or whatever the opportunity is. It provides a filter and a lens that can save you time and conflict as you keep moving toward the greater you, the self-actualized you. And I've said it again, and I've said it before, I'll say it again. Y'all, there is more. There's more to this life. There's more to you. But you have to have clarity, discernment, and direction to get there. Now, I want to give you some examples of vision statements, starting with mine, okay? Here's my personal vision statement for this season of life. I'm an encourager of mankind, seeing the best in people and challenging them to reach for the very best in themselves. I'll read it again, okay? I'm an encourager of mankind, seeing the best in people and challenging them to reach for that best in every facet of their lives. I think I said it differently both times, but I think you all get the gist. Here's another example of one. This is from a friend of mine. I asked what his personal vision statement was. He said, I am a successful entrepreneur who uses my skills to make positive impact on my community and the world. I am financially stable, mentally and physically healthy, and surrounded by loved ones who support me. His is a little bit longer than mine, but they both do the exact same thing, okay? In each sense, we declare who we are, and we declare what we believe that we are here to do in this season of our lives. My purpose right now is to encourage mankind, to help to see the best in people and help them strive for the best in themselves. For him, he's an entrepreneur who uses his skills to make a positive impact in the community. Okay. So those are two examples of what personal vision statements look like. Now, Let's talk about the how to create your own personal vision statement. Now, for that, this is where the free gift comes in. In the episode description, I'm going to post a link for you. And this link is going to take you to a worksheet that I have developed that will help you, just like if you were one of my clients, that will help you go through the process, walk yourselves through the process of creating your own personal vision statement. The document is called Developing My Personal Vision Statement, and it is 5 steps. It's a 5-step process, and it will tell you things to look out for, right? And it presupposes that you performing this exercise, this activity, means that you're serious about this and you're willing to put in the time, the contemplative and reflective time necessary to really get into it. You can re-download it, use it as often as you want to, but I thought that it would be cool to not just give you steps here, but to give you something concrete in a digital format that you can take and use to form your own vision statement. Now, the 5 steps are pretty self-explanatory. Step 1 is to start with self-reflection, and we talked about that. Step 2 is to identify your purpose. This is a really reflective point that asks you, what do you want to achieve in life? What specific impact do you want to have? What type of legacy do you want to leave, right? Things like that. Step 3 is where you actually will write out your vision statement. And I give you some pointers to keep it simple and clear, make it personal, use strong action verbs, and focus on your present and your future. Step 4 is to refine and revise, right? Because it's never truly finished, because just as our lives are always changing, our vision for our lives is always changing as well. And then step 5 is probably my favorite, and it's the part where we drop the ball so much. But step 5 is simply to live out your vision. To not just let this vision statement be something that you write once and forget about, but that you will allow it to become a part of your everyday life. That you're always reminding yourself, that you're always going back to that vision statement and understanding that your personal vision statement is a living, breathing thing. But you have to keep it that way, which means you have to always be revisiting it and refining it and rewriting it and reshuffling it and revision casting to see what is what's ahead of you. And so those are the 5 steps to writing a good personal vision statement. And like I said, I am dropping a link. I'm dropping a link for you in the episode description so that you can write your own personal vision statement. And here's what I'm going to ask you to do after you have that. Okay? Do me a favor and please, on social media, on Instagram, just tag me, post it on Instagram and tag me at JB Speaks, where you've posted your personal vision statement. Send me an email at thepeppodcast@gmail.com with your personal vision statement. If you see a post about the podcast, in the comments, drop your personal vision statement. I want to know what it is you came up with. This means a lot to me, and I really hope that this is a blessing to you. I'm really excited to be able to offer it to you free of charge. Right? Free of charge. There is nothing required of you except to sign up and to get this document. It is all yours, and it is my blessing. It's my honor to give it to you. All right. Now, without direction, people feel lost and unmotivated and unfulfilled. But as I've said before, having a personal vision statement provides clarity, insight, and direction. It gives you a roadmap to follow and helps you make informed decisions about where you're going. So if you haven't crafted your own personal vision statement yet, then it's time for you to do it, because like I said in the opening of this podcast, you need a personal vision statement. You heard me? You need one. Now, how about that quote of the day? So as we've been talking about vision, our quote of the day is about vision, and it is from Bill Hybels. And it says, "Vision is a picture of the future that produces passion." Vision is a picture of the future that produces passion. And I pray, I believe, and I'm hoping for you that as you go through the process of creating your own personal vision statement, that it produces passion unlike any you've ever known before in your life, and that it propels you forward in a way that you've never been propelled before. Now, again, make those vision statements, tag me on social media, send me an email at thepeppodcast at gmail.com. I want to hear from you. I can't wait to hear from you. I think this is going to be really, really good for you, for so many of you. And hey, do me a favor. You probably know somebody who's looking for vision in their life. Send them a copy. Send them the link to this episode so that we can continue getting the word out, continue spreading the pep, because y'all, I love you and I want to see you flourish in the way that you were created to flourish. So again, if you want to reach out via email at thepeppodcast@gmail.com, hit me up on IG at _JBSpeaks. Y'all, I'm so thankful and my heart is filled with gratitude for all of you who've listened, for all of you who've rated, for all of you who have reviewed. Just thank you. Thank you for rocking with us. We're 14 episodes in, and we show no signs of stopping yet. All right. So this is episode 14 of the Pep Talk Podcast. It's been me, your host, your coach, Coach Jay, rocking with you today. And remember, as we say when we always close out, keep it love, keep it light, and keep it pepe. I'll see you next week. Y'all be blessed. Peace out.